up, guys? We're on the road. We're going to fucking Arlington Heights. The first time we're trying this out, so if it works, it works. If not, then you won't ever fucking see it. Yeah, we're probably gonna end up just bullshitting the whole ride there, but we'll have music going. We'll try to talk about some of what we're hearing. If you can hear it, cool. If not, whatever. It's not really that important. We're heading up to Arlington Heights and just fucking trading guitars and shit with some dude. Hopefully it's sick, dude. Like, it looks fucking sick. It's Ibanez.
Yeah, it's what is it, a 5?
RG 521.
Yeah, 521.
It's a Genesis, so like they correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm sure some of you will, but it was a Genesis or a series where they brought the ones from the 80s, like the iconic ones back, like the RG 550, and I think it was the RG 570. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. And this one, but this one they only made for 2 years. So, and it's made in Japan. So, yeah. So it should make a nice, you know.
Yeah.
That's the word I'm thinking of. With my other Ibanez I got, that's also a Japanese one. So they should be cool together.
You were showing me pictures of it and everything, and then I looked it up on the internet yesterday. Yeah, because I didn't even know they did that. And then when I was looking at it, I was like, God damn, like there's certain parts of it where they carved it. It's a little bit more thin than my S's. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it looks pretty sick. So, I mean, I hope I'm doing the right thing. I'm going to miss my Les Paul. I'm trading my Les Paul for it. But at the same time, I never play it. And when I do pick it up, I don't like it anymore. So, I don't know. It's kind of bittersweet, I guess. Yeah, it's gonna look like shit because it's sun, but whatever. It is what it is. Guitars come and go. It's the life of a guitarist. Anyway, yeah, let's get some music going. Yeah, so the first song that came up now is Cowboys from Hell, so fuck yeah.
Let's say how ironic.
Get some Pantera going. Maybe you can hear it. Cool, now whatever. Yeah, dude, this album's the shit. This one, fucking Domination, is on this one.
Yeah, it's become like the kind of the riff that you test out guitars on.
That breakdown, it's the heaviest thing in the world.
I was considering too taking one of mine and trading it in today too, but I was like, you know, I really don't want to do that because the guitars that I have, I actually kind of like all of them.
Yeah.
So I also have a Les Paul as well. Well, you guys, if you haven't seen it, take a look at our gear videos, each of our gear videos.
Yeah.
Just kind of see what all we have, but I just didn't want to get rid of mine just because I still use it. You know, it's good for texture and stuff like that. Plus, having a bigger and wider hand, it's kind of nice to play that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I do want to see if I can try to find a 7-string today. That'd be fucking nice.
Yeah. Well, my plan is I'm going to try this Ibanez, mostly for the neck. The weight, I'm sure it's lighter because it's basswood, but I'm more concerned about how the neck feels. I don't think I've ever played anything with a Super Wizard neck.
No, I never heard of it.
Yeah, and I think it's thinner than a Wizard too. And I'm not normally a fan of Wizard or of really thin necks, so we'll see. But I have a backup plan, and they have a Jackson SL2 there at Guitar. That's why we're going to Arlington Heights. We're meeting at Guitar Center with Steve, and they have this SL2 there. They've had it for over a year, and that was the one that I played, and it made me want the Jackson that I ended up buying.
Yeah, those guitars are fucking awesome. Like, I think we both played one, and yeah, like, dude, Jackson, I don't know what it was years ago. Like this, I'm talking like 15, maybe 20 years ago.
Their cheap ones are kind of crappy, but they're not even that bad. They just need fretwork.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if this doesn't work, if I don't end up liking this Ibanez, I'm gonna get. Anyway, this goes. I'm getting rid of this Les Paul today, and I'm probably gonna trade for that Ibanez. But if I don't like the Ibanez, then I'm gonna go into Guitar Center and trade it for that Jackson. Yeah, dude, Cowboys from Hell. I heard this. The first time I heard this was in high school, I think. Yeah. It was right after Ozfest, and me and Nick got into. We just started downloading shit off LimeWire, because when we saw Event Sevenfold, that cover a walk.
And, that's right. Yeah.
So we wanted to find that song, and then that's how we discovered Pantera. Well, I'd heard of Pantera before that, but I'd never listened to them.
Yeah, Pantera. Yeah, probably around the same time. Because I had heard of them before, and I don't know why I never really listened to them before that, but it was just one of those bands, you know. like they're not Metallica, so
Yeah.
whatever, you know.
Right. It's just my Supermix. So it's random music, but it's not like random because it's like shit that I listen to a lot anyway. Dude, Chili Peppers,
Yeah.
California, or was it Scar Tissue?
I remember when this album came out, I was about 14 or so.
Yeah, I think I was. Oh, you were younger than that. I was like 7 or 8 when this came out. So
Yeah.
you were probably like 13 or
Yeah, because I mean,
12 or 13. Dad was going to be a truck driver at that time.
yeah, that's right.
And I think he bought this. It was either right before he left or right after he came back.
Yeah, because I remember playing this a lot because I remember this album to me didn't sound like how Chili Peppers used to sound.
This was a really good album.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Chili Peppers fan, but I really like this album.
Like this was a lot more rock oriented, in my opinion. And then as far as like their previous stuff, it was very funk driven.
Yeah.
So it was kind of interesting to hear this. But then this is what their career turned into. Like this is the beginning of what Chili Peppers is now.
And the video for which I never saw it until much later was the video for Other Side.
Oh yeah. That's actually a pretty cool video.
Yeah. It's a weird one.
Yeah. Lee's standing there and he's playing bass using the telephone wires and shit.
Yeah. I don't know. This is a good album. And then there was some weird some of their not B-sides, but their deeper cuts on this album are really good too.
Yeah.
It's like Californication was a good song. Scar Tissue, obviously, was a pretty good song. The Other Side, and then there was another song on this album that was kind of soft. That was pretty good. I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah, I don't remember the names of the songs in this album really, but yeah, I remember there was that soft one. There was another like kind of funk-driven one.
Yeah.
Like the one and only funk-driven one. I think it was called like Get On Up or something.
Get On
like
Up,
that.
and then there was another one I like, Dirt. That was a weird one.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They were always kind of cool because they were just so fucking weird. And I think this John Frusciante was in this band at this point.
Yeah, because I think and their history is kind of weird to me. Like I forget all the time, but I know he was been like in and out of that band so many times.
Yeah. Well, I think he's back with them now.
Yeah.
I think he just got back with them. And he was playing with Lars Volta for a little while.
Yeah.
He was on a few of their albums. And I don't know if he was actually an official member of Lars Volta, but he was on like 2 or 3 of their albums and he toured with them at least. So, I mean, to me, that means he was in the band, you know?
Right. And it was weird too, because while he was gone, Chili Peppers had Dave Navarro from Jane's Addiction in the band. Which I think that's a really weird fit.
Yeah, Dave Navarro. I never liked him. I never liked Jane's Addiction either.
Oh, cool.
Bullet, yeah. Bullet, My Valentine, The End. This is a good song, man. This is the last song on the Poison.
I want to say this is one of the few bands too when they were current. I kind of like it was not this album, but it was Screaming Fire.
Yeah.
And I was actually listening to them while they were current.
Paul showed me these guys. He found the Metallica covers they did.
Yeah.
Their cover of Creeping Death they did, and the cover of Sanitarium they did.
I mean, they're almost perfect.
They're so good. Man. I mean, they're a little bit different because you know he's got that pretty thick British accent,
Right. I mean, the guitar playing is almost spot on. I mean, they changed a couple of riffs here and there, but it's not like anything major.
Yeah, their cover of Creeping Death was the shit.
Yeah.
Their cover of Welcome Home was fucking really good. Yeah.
That too, at the very beginning of the song too, he changes the way that the arpeggio is at the beginning, but I think he changes it so it sounds better.
Yeah, he does that slide.
Yeah, because Metallica's is kind of dry, like it's very straightforward and they just kind of play it, whereas Matt, he's doing a little bit of ornamentation, and I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Me and Ashley are going to see them. You can come with if you want, but I'm not buying another ticket.
Yeah, no.
But it's not until April, so. But yeah, the Poison Ascendancy tour, that's going to be the shit, dude. Trivium, Bullet, Trivium playing Ascendancy in its entirety, Bullet playing this off in their entirety, or in its entirety. And then Silosis, August Burns Red, and Bleed From Within. It's going to be a fucking badass show, dude. I'm kind of more excited to see Silosis because I've kind of just been more into them lately.
Yeah, like Silosis too, man. Like, first time you showed them to me, man, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And you said that it was all standard tuning. I was like, no way.
Well, their early stuff was, yeah.
Right.
It's not anymore. But yeah, those guys are the shit. If you like their music is different. Like, I mean, not different, but every album's different. Where like their first album, I guess their second album too, was pretty thrash. And then I'm still kind of getting familiar with them, so excuse me if that sounds ignorant. But Dormant Heart was like in their middle of their catalog, and it's more of a kind of groove metal based sound, where it sounds a little bit more. Well, the one song, it comes up all the time. I can't think what it's called. It just sounds kind of like Slayer.
Oh yeah.
Like the intro, and then but it's a little bit slower. But yeah, they're really good. Their newest album's really good. They just put out an EP too, which is pretty good. Anyway, yeah, this is Bullet.
Yeah.
This was like the sound of my fucking 4 years in high school, dude. I love Bullet.
Yeah, like I remember you would always.
Or, I guess no. They came out like towards the end of my high school. But
Yeah.
anyway.
Because I remember you were always listening to these guys, Sevenfold.
Yeah.
Who else were you listening? Well, you were listening to System of a Down for a
System of a
while.
Down was huge for me. But around this time, when I got into these guys, I started listening to like Sevenfold and All That Remains. I listened to a lot.
And Sum 41.
Sum 41 I listened to a lot. But I always listened to Sum 41 a lot. His riffs were fucking good. Matt Tuck is a fucking beast at writing riffs. And but a lot of people don't realize that he did most of the solos on this album too. Like Patch is a really good guitarist too, and he's their lead guitarist, but Matt Tuck wrote and recorded and played most of them live. I have the, and I want to watch it again, I can't find it, but I have the, when they played this album live in Brixton back in the day, or at Brixton Academy, and it was fucking incredible. And that was when I realized, like, dude, Matt Tuck is a fucking awesome guitarist.
Oh, he's very talented.
I just want to go to Mitsui and get breakfast because their baked shit is really good.
Yeah, I've never. That's that place that used to have that hamburger.
Yeah,
place,
it's a
right?
Japanese place, yeah. The Theft. Okay, I really wanted to do this album instead of The Curse, but The Curse was
yesterday.
Yeah, this is The Theft. This is like the ballad from this album. This was another one. I listened to Atreyu a lot back then too.
Yeah, Atreyu was cool. Like when you first showed me their first album, The Curse.
The Curse, yeah.
Like that was just really cool. Like right side of the bed. That's why I chose to do that song when we did that album, because that was the first song of theirs I heard. It was just so cool. Like it was just like you haven't heard that in a long time. That kind of riffing.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool.
Yeah, these guys are cool. Yeah, this album was a shit though, and this is the one where he started wanting to sing more and get better as an actual singer. So he did, and he got some of the songs in this album. He got fucking way up there with his vocal range. Like what was the one song? I can't think of what it's called. It's one of the last songs on this album. He gets fucking way up there, and he ended up becoming a really good singer. But
I think this is the first band too, when I think about it, that I was like seriously listening to, where it was a good blending of like harsh growl vocals with clean vocals, with this kind of riffing and this kind of songwriting. See, I mean, I know Sevenfold was out at the time. I know like Kill Switch and some of them were around.
yeah,
But I think this was the first band that I like was like seriously listening to, where I heard this and I thought it was really cool.
yeah, Atreyu was a shit. They were pretty emo, but I don't know. If you take the lyrics away and the vocals away, the music is so good in this band. They were fucking awesome. This was the first band that got me into like, or that introduced me to screaming vocals.
Yeah.
And but it was like their early shit, like their EP that came out before The Curse. And it was just like, or no, it was the album before The Curse. Yeah, The Curse was their second album.
Okay.
But he did like those weird like pig squeals.
Oh yeah.
And it just sounded bad. Yeah, but there was an EP that came out before their first album that,
Come on.
Stone Temple Pilots. What?
Yeah, I like STP. See, this is more like the stuff when I was a kid, like all the grunge music and stuff was still like, it was still pretty relevant, like up till I was like 9 or so.
Yeah, and I never really got into like the grunge and shit like that until somewhat recently. So I'm still not like, I like Stone Temple Pilots, don't get me wrong, but I'm not completely sold on them.
Oh no. I mean, I'm a metal kid at heart because I mean that's what I grew up with. You know, Maiden, Metallica,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Judas Priest.
I mean, I'm not going to turn it off.
Right.
You know, if it comes on, Clutch, this is a great song. You know, you can't just say, fuck this.
I think the only band from that time that I would shut off if it came on was REM. I kind of like them and everything, and I can tolerate them, but it's like...
Pearl Jam, I could not, I still to this day, I cannot fucking stand Pearl Jam. Their music's good, I cannot stand Eddie Vedder's fucking voice.
Yeah.
He just sounds drunk all the time. Anybody can sing like Eddie Vedder, you just gotta, don't open your mouth all the way and don't enunciate your fucking...
But at the same time, though, yeah, I mean, I think that's where we kind of disagree a little, because I do really like Pearl Jam an awful lot. It's just, again, it's not for Eddie Vedder. I do appreciate what he does.
Their music's really good.
But the music's awesome. Like,
yeah,
you know, I love the way that they can tell a story with the music. So, but I mean, so I like Pearl Jam's my shit. And it is tragic with Scott Weiland, because he's another victim, another tragedy of drugs and alcohol, a rock star. That's how he died, wasn't it? Like some massive heroin overdose?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and that's what Derek said too. He was like, he didn't even recognize him because he didn't have his red hair and his goatee and all that. He was just...
Lost a shitload of weight.
God, he was so skinny. Remember the video for Slither?
Yeah.
God,
like
I remember I saw that when it came out, and I was like, who the fuck is this freak?
Yeah.
You know? Because he was just like skin and fucking bones. He was wearing these skin tight silver leather pants.
Oh, Counting Crows.
I don't know if Casey remembers. I don't know if Casey remembers this, but I used to sing the song when we worked at MTV. I used to come on the radio, and I used to sing it, Casey Jones and me. Casey Jones and me. And I'm pretty sure, I always for the longest time thought Casey hated me. Probably because of this.
Here's Silosis.
It's Silosis. Eye for an Eye. Silent Things Come. This is off their first album.
Yeah, I mean, I've never even heard of this band.
And his guitar tone is fucking sick. Yeah, Silas is fucking awesome.
Yeah, like before you showed me that album, I'd never heard of this band, and when I did hear of them, I was like, wow. I mean, like they just left an immediate impression on me.
Yeah, Josh Middleton, he's their singer now and guitarist, but he was just their guitarist back then. And he did some shit with Architects, and I think that's how he got known. But he is such a fucking perfectionist when it comes to his guitar tone and just recording in general. I don't think I've heard a bad sounding Silosis record.
No,
it sounds so good. I don't think he records and produces it all, but I'm sure he does some of it.
Well, it's amazing how tight this band is. Like, you know, Metallica, that used to be the gold standard for, you know, how tight a band is.
The thrash band, yeah.
This band, I don't know. Like, I don't think you could really separate each one instrument from the other rhythmically anyway. I think they're all just like so locked in and tight. These guys were, and talk about another tragedy. Yeah,
that was well, he ended up dying, I think it was alcohol related, but he didn't die from overdosing or whatever. I think he had medical problems, and it was the drugs and alcohol that made it worse, and he ended up dying from that.
Yeah, we're talking about Children of Bodom.
Yeah, it's Children of Bodom. This is the last album they put out, Hexed. It came out in 2019, and then everybody left the band.
Oh, man.
And he started another band, and he called it Bodom After Midnight.
Oh, okay.
That was one of their songs, and then he just kept touring as that, and then he died. I think this was only out for like a year or something like that before he died.
I remember though reading in the magazines and stuff, they were talking about, because there was a period where they were like, oh yeah, there's no more guitar heroes and nobody cares about guitar anymore and all that shit, it's all gone. They were all talking about how he was like our generation's like guitar hero and shit.
Dude, Alexi Laios and shit.
Oh, it was awesome. But then like immediately after that, then a lot of shredders started coming back and like a lot of technical players. So
yeah, and they started, I think they started in the late 80s, but they didn't, I don't think they hit until like the, I don't know, mid-90s, I think.
Children of Bodom?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was that old.
Yeah, well, I think he was mid-40s when he died.
Yeah, I suppose, because I think he was like about 4 or 5 years older than I am.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's the lifestyle of being in a fucking metal band, and you know, you get hooked on drugs, and then you die when you're fucking young.
Yeah.
I've always liked Children of Bodom, and I listened to him before he died, but I don't want to be. I know I never wanted to be like one of those, you know, bandwagoner people, like jump on the bandwagon because he's dead. But after he died was when I realized how good they actually were, and then.
Well, don't feel bad. That's kind of what I did with Dimebag, because I didn't respect him or anything before he died, and then after he died, that's when I was like, wow, he was amazing.
Yeah.
And then you feel bad because you're like, fuck, you know, it's like I wish I would have been into this band back when they were, you know, everybody was still around and popular and not dead. Oh, Trivium?
Oh, Trivium. You Tread the Floods, The Crusade. This album gets so much hate, but this was the one that got me into Trivium.
This is probably my favorite album of theirs, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's not my favorite, but it's probably my second or third favorite. If you want to pass, you get in the left lane, not the fucking right lane. I can contribute a lot of the Midwestern anger and depression to traffic.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, Trivium. Yeah, because this was like the only band that I can think of that I like had always heard of. Never really got into them, and I wanted to.
Yeah.
And then I tried to, and I started with like their most recent shit. With that at the time was Sin in the Sentence, and I just didn't like it. And I thought like the vocals were mixed too high, and everything else was too low, and I don't know. So I was like, all right, well. From there, I just started going backwards through their albums. I kind of liked Silence in the Snow better at the time. God, this fucking bitch is on my ass again.
Silence in the Snow is a really good album, though.
And then I knew Shogun just because the song Into the Mouth of Hell We March.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a fucking awesome song. And I was like, yeah, that's good. And then I was like, all right, well, so I listened to Silence in the Snow. I knew that song. I was like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna listen to Left Lane, You Dumb Bitch, for Passing. I was like, all right, well, listen to some of their more early stuff before that. And then, so I started with their first album, Yeah, You Drive Like a Dumb Fuck. So I started with their first album. I didn't really care for it because it was just so raw. You know, I think he was like 17 when they recorded that album. And then Ascendancy, the second album, is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but it was The Crusade that fucking really caught my attention because it's just a thrash album.
Well, that, and then the fact that it is so raw, I think that's why I like it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I love it when bands, because correct me if I'm wrong, this is their first album, right?
It's their third album.
Third album. Bands early in their career, like, that's just what's awesome about it, is because they just have so much energy that they're trying to put out. And
Yeah.
it's really, if you want to hear, like, them at the top of their, like, speed game or all that kind of shit,
Yeah.
that's where you want to be, because they're trying so hard at that point to try to get people to listen to them. So
Yeah.
they're going for broke and laying it all on the table.
Yeah.
Later on, they've been established, so you know they can be a little more artsy about their music, and they can kind of pepper it with a little bit more flavor and style.
Yeah.
But early on, no, it's all about we're fast, we're aggressive, we got attitude, let's get it out there, you know. And
Yeah, and
that's
they've
why I
gone
like
on,
the early stuff.
And they've gone on record to say that that's their least favorite album too, because that was the only time that and Silence in the Snow were the only times where they were like boxed into a specific sound.
Yeah.
So that's why they didn't like it. And that was also the album that it didn't break them, but that's the album that got like at least the British fans to hate them.
Gotcha.
Because they thought they'd sold out.
I can see a case for that, but I mean, realistically speaking, you wouldn't make the music if you didn't really, you know, get behind it.
Hey, what's up, guys? We fucked up. We made it there safe and sound, so don't worry. But we forgot to record an outro. Well, we didn't forget. We recorded an outro, but we didn't hit record on the camera, so I'm doing it now. So yeah, thanks for watching. My album's out, so I'm gonna put a link for that in the description or whatever, and maybe I'll put a thing up here wherever the fuck it is. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.